Welcome back to Lawn Dude on Earth. Thank you for listening to the show today. Let's see what topic we get into after the intro. What is going on? What is going on? Welcome back to Lawn Dude on Earth. This is Mike, owner of Lawn Dude Lawn Maintenance LLC. Your host for the afternoon, night, morning, noon, whatever time of day you listen to this podcast, man. I appreciate it. I guess I should also say your host for the new year. So, real talk, I record a lot of podcasts, a lot of them that I don't release actually. One of the ones I haven't released is the one I did on Christmas Eve. It was actually Christmas Eve night. You guys will probably get that, or you probably won't, be honest with you. I usually try to keep things in real time if I can when I'm releasing them. And if the editing's not, if it's like pixelated or anything when it comes to the audio, and it's like just terrible sounding, a lot of times I won't even release it. So either you'll hear it or you won't. Kind of lean towards probably the second one. You probably won't hear it because I'm not sure how the sound quality is. But anyways, I say that because today, real time, is December 31st, 2024. So it's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve. And if you heard what I said a couple podcasts ago, I'm not the guy who sits around and goes, I got New Year's resolutions, blah, blah, blah. You know why? Because I was working on things for 2025 months ago, and I'm still working on them. I don't need it to become 2025 for me to start working towards my future. So, this is going to be kind of a weird podcast, man, because I'm kind of looking back on how 2024 went. I'm looking back at how 2024 went, and it's kind of weird, man. Like, I'm a little bit on the frustrated side when it comes to certain things, man. I mean, overall, I'd say 2024 was good, great. It was good family life, which is the biggest blessing of all, is, for the family life to go well. I would say, for the most part, I mean, we had some unfortunate times, deaths in the family. That's always rough. But overall, as far as like our health and what we mean to each other, those went okay. Really, when it comes to business, I want to be completely honest on how I feel like 2024 went when it comes to business. I'd have to say it was kind of rocky. It was up and down, man. Not gonna lie. I can sit here and tell you on paper it is our best year. It is our best year on paper. Top line. So, on paper, it is the best year we've had. But what I don't like about how this year went is I feel like most of the year I was like a hamster on a wheel. For those who heard that saying before and know what I'm saying, I'll go ahead and explain what I mean by that. So most of the year I felt like I was playing catch up. I don't like it one bit. So you know how it is in the maintenance business. Usually, if you go by the standard way of getting paid in the maintenance business, especially when it comes to the mowing side, you don't fully really get paid for mowing until pretty much April, really May, because April you're playing catch up from all your winter bills. But in my case, I did have a lot of 12-month payment plan people, you know, or at least I had a fair number of that. I wouldn't say a lot. I mean, I had a fair number of those, but it didn't help when you're trying to get through the winter and then you don't really get any snow, which I try not to bank on that anyways, because there's no guarantee it's going to snow. But you don't really get any snow, and then on top of that, you turn around and spring is what it usually is. By the time you catch up, you know, May, which is usually May, you thrive throughout the whole summer usually. But in our case, it's like by the time I finally was catching up, we hit a drought in June. And off of that drought in June, any like savings I might have had or credit line or whatever, you kind of had to use it then to survive. Then you pretty much the whole year, you know, throughout the whole summer, you're trying to basically survive it because there's still kind of a lot of drought activities going on. So you get to aeration season, you're sitting here like, all right, this is usually when you make your extra money, aeration and leaf season. Both of those were at abysmal. When it comes to aerations, I feel like we did okay. We didn't do bad. But when you're already playing catch-up, that money goes straight to playing catch-up. That's it. It's not extra. It's not padding, you know, your account. No, none of that. So then we get to leaf season, and it's crazy. Those who follow me on YouTube see that I have a video up where I'm sucking up a pile of leaves with the debris loader setup. I never would have guessed that that would be the only pile I would use that setup for. This is the first year in like 5, 6, maybe even 7 years that I didn't get a list of curbside clients. And it's crazy, like one list of the curbsides, they didn't even freaking, you can hear I'm getting upset by this, man, but they didn't even freaking like respond to me when I was asking them. I was straight up asking them, like, hey, you know, through emails, months in advance, like, you know, are you going to need us for the curbside service? You know, a simple no would have sufficed instead of just ghosting me. And then our biggest client, like, we got one job that is huge for curbside. We used to do the full cleanup. That was a good amount of money. And then he started buying, like, push blower and everything and piling up for us to just pick up the piles for the last 3-4 years. So every year we can bank on that we're gonna go there and pick up a pile. But come to find out, he got so many like trees removed throughout the year that he ended up not needing us this year. So my main setup, if you've seen my YouTube channel, was the setup I showed with like the mowers and the stand-on blower. It was like one bag of mower. We always had one bag of mower, one mower with the 6 Ballard attachment blades on them. So it would chop up the leaves real fine. I would blow them out with the FB 3000 and the PB 9010 backpack blower. So I'd use both of those. Then I would chop it up with the one mower, if it didn't have a wood line for me to blow all the leaves to. And then I would get the bagging mower and bag it up that way. I even bought one of those truck unloaders so I could roll out the leaves for the day. And what I was doing was I would back the truck up to where my debris loader is at the house with the trailer setup and everything. And I was backing the truck up there. I'd get to the truck unloader, unload all the leaves right there in front of the trailer, and then suck it up with that vacuum and get into the trailer. I just dumped that yesterday, December 30th, for my first and only time of the season. From the leaves I was bringing back from sites, which were already shredded because they went through the mower blower system, then they went through the debris loader. So it was frustrating. I'm literally telling this whole story, probably boring you half to death, to provide context. As you know, this is what I do with every story I tell. So because of that, my fall was just, man, that's about that's a good little chunk of change right there that I can usually count on top of everything else. So I'm expecting X amount from aeration. Like I said, aerations did okay, but we played catch up with that. It wasn't no extra money. And you're expecting to actually make some extra and not have to use credit lines on nothing going into to close the year out. Not quite the case because I didn't get as many like cleanups. I mean, I have plenty of work from our clients, but most of our clients are on an annual plan. So it's not like extra money inflating your account. Usually I have a week's worth of curbside visits. Those inflate your account while, the regular clients, they keep the bills paid. That's the way I look at it. They maintain the account. So needless to say all that, it's been an up and down year, and I've really felt like a hamster on a wheel. Just trying to get through it, man. Trying to get through it. I'm trying to stay positive. I've basically have done that. When you know who motivates you, that helps you stay positive. So my family really does help me stay positive. It really helped me keep being driven to keep going. But can I be honest with y'all? Can I be honest with y'all right quick, man? So, because I was basically a hamster on the wheel, there were times when, like, doing my job, going out here and doing my business wasn't as enjoyable as I would have loved for it to be. And I really hate saying it out loud, but it's just when the goal of the business really starts to become, we need to make more, money, it kind of keeps it from being fun. Versus, we making up to at least, cover our needs. And everything else, it's just, wants. When it gets to that point where you have more than enough to do that, and you're not out here going, I gotta make this to do this, I gotta do that, I have to sell X amount this month. When you gotta do it like that, sometimes it takes the fun out of it. Because one thing about being in business is I love running equipment. I love what I do out in the field. But this year, the Monday route, as I've said in the past, is our highest volume list. I'm solo, and I kind of went solo a couple years ago so I can find my passion back in it. And I did that in 2023. Going into 2023 and doing it solo, I pretty much found my passion into it again, as far as like just kind of trying to go back to the basics, but not all the way there. And then last year, I feel like I did as well, but I also found what I really love to do in this industry. I found that the day I go out and do the volume, like, I think I go and do like anywhere from 20 to 25 stops on a Monday by myself. I don't really have fun on Mondays because it's more of a, again, hamster in a wheel. You're trying to hurry up and get through, and you're just kind of going nowhere. Even though in this case you are going somewhere, you're getting through the route. But it's just the fact that I'm big on quality, and I like to maintain the quality while moving quickly. That takes a lot on your body. Tuesdays I'm doing commercial sites, and not gonna lie to you, the estates I had at the end of those that were out the area that are like, bigger properties, I don't mind doing those one bit. But when it comes to like the shopping centers and HOAs, I'm not the biggest fan of going out and doing the maintenance on those every week. One, because like it's property maintenance. It's not just going to go mow and leave. I wish I was at the size where I could have a whole like landscape route and a maintenance route just for the mowing. But it's easier to do everything while I'm there. So if a shrub needs to be hit or a row of shrubs need to be hit, it's easier to do that there. So Mondays and Tuesdays, it was just kind of like, it was almost like rinse and repeat. Wednesday is when I go out the area and do like a couple commercials down south and like the whole south route. I never minded that route because I always would knock it out in good timing to where I get to surprise like our daughter, and pick her up from school. If they had a sporting event, I was off and work playing time. My wife and I got to have lunch on these days a lot of times. Thursdays, boy, did I have fun on Thursdays because I'd go out and do those wide open areas mowing. Those estate lawns, like those were like a canvas to me, and I was the artiste when I was out there on that 72-inch mower, striping them up. And then Fridays, I started to love Fridays because it was my miscellaneous day. If I was out doing lawn applications, I actually didn't mind doing them because of the machine I have, the Z-Spray LTS. I love doing treatments with that. It's so much better than that hose setup I used to have where I had to pull the hose all over the place. That was a pain. I was doing, aerations that day. I don't mind those ever since I got to stand on the aerator. And I really started loving them because I got the mini skid steer this year. We pulled the trigger on the mini skid steer, and I was selling a lot of those jobs. So if you paid attention to what I just said without being bored to death, because once again, everything I say is to provide context. There's two things out of what I just said. Number one, I've mechanized just about everything. And I plan to keep going that way because it makes the job easy. Honestly, I have more fun when I'm not killing myself to make a dime or penny, whatever it is for the day. And number two, I realize what I actually enjoy in this business. I enjoy the wide open mowing, the wide open area mowing. Heck, I would love to get it one day to where I go out and purchase maybe a used batwing mower to go take care of some of these wide open areas. This is how big of areas I like to be maintaining and just do that. I love, taking care of these estate lawns and selling them a maintenance package. Most of them have wood lines, so in the fall, I'm really just taking that stand-on blower and blowing everything to the wood line. Don't have to worry about removal. And mini skid steer work is something that I almost feel like part of me wants to just advertise mini skid steer work going in 2025. Because people already know I do maintenance for the most part. I drive around with, my box truck has a big sign on the side. So I'm really thinking about just strategically planning to advertise for mini skid work, because the more I look at it, if I even sell a minimum of 2 jobs a month, that's a big difference in income. And granted, there'll be some months where maybe 4 weeks, like I only need a day each week to do the job, so it'll be that Friday. If I'm able to get Fridays, even get more than one job in one day, maybe one Friday, I get like 4 jobs, I'm winning in that department. So I'm really considering that. I'm really considering doing it that way. And speaking of the box truck, still sitting down in my mechanic's shop. I get quiet on that one because, it's been sitting at his shop since, I think, September. Yeah. Part of my major push for aerations was supposed to be that box truck because I got the big signs on it. I was thinking I'm in there mowing, I could put the aeration signs on the side of it. And it didn't work that way because it's been sitting at his shop this whole time for a cheap part. That I had a part for it sitting in the truck, but my mechanic had a wedding to get to. He got real sick for a little bit there. And when he got back and finally tore into it, which was a few weeks ago, and we're in December now, because once we got in the fall, I told him no rush. I usually use my truck and trailer for the fall season anyways. So when he finally got to it, he realized I got the wrong part. And now I'm looking online, and the cheapest part I see for that truck is $200 something. I'm honestly at a tough spot right now where I'm trying to figure out if it makes sense for me to kind of slightly upgrade my maintenance vehicle to the open landscape body truck. I'm thinking about getting an open landscape body, a Isuzu truck with a 20-foot body on it, and either keeping the box truck and using it for another division, since I do at some point plan to have two guys come in and take over the maintenance, or paying off that truck and selling it. So as you can hear, I do have some decisions to make this fun again, man. Like, to some of y'all, this may sound like a lot of rambling on, but these are decisions that are going through my mind when it comes to doing this in 2025 to make this enjoyable. Because I'll be doggone in 2025. I have another doggone year like I did this year. 2024 was too rocky for my liking. It was too up and down for my liking. It was too unstable for my liking. It was too much hamster in the wheel for my liking. I've said this time and time again. My family deserves the best, and I will always give my dead level best to provide that. So if me deciding right now, before we even cross into 2025, that I need to make changes is what gets us there, then so be it. That's what I'll do. I'll give you another example. I don't like the fact that the business is in so much debt. I'm in a lot of business debt, but I literally just said, well, one of the things that make it enjoyable and less on my body and allow me to go out and make more to be able to provide for my family is us being so mechanized. You know what? I was the guy who scolded, the whole ideal of, oh man, we got to spend money. We got to get a payment here. We got to do this. We got to do that. But you know what? At this point, I'm more open to those ideals considering it saves the body. I'm working on a CDL. Another example. I'm trying to figure out how to get into a school that works with my schedule, number one. And number two, preferably one that has, that grant program going on for getting a CDL. Because I don't know if you guys have seen, but CDLs, they want $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for you to go to school for that. And for us in this industry to be in the slowest time of year, that's rough. I know some people out there that's going, man, why would you possibly go get your CDL when you already run a business? Well, I'm about to go ahead and tell you. When this business gets slow in the wintertime, I don't even want to be concerned. I would love to be able to utilize the CDL and go drive a truck at night or whatever, or go drive a truck during the day or something, because I'm not really doing anything else this time of year, except waiting for snow that doesn't usually come. And that way I can always keep the income steady, and there will never be a concern. Heck, if we get a drought in the middle of summer, I can go hop in the truck. Something's better than nothing. And then, to be completely honest with you, I have other goals for the future that I'm not about to disclose right here. This isn't the proper space for me to do that right now. Those who are closest to me, they know what those goals are, and they involve me getting that. So I say all this to say, we all should be thinking about how this year went, things we can build off of, how to make things better, and how to be able to do what you love to do more. Because I will be doing what I love to do more. And that's all I got for y'all this week. Or at least until I do my mental health. You guys have a happy and blessed new year. Because I am going to have a blessed, happy new year. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Time is ticking. I'm 36 this year, and I have a whole lot of goals that's supposed to be coming in, that's going to happen, that's going to change. Y'all be easy. Be blessed. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Lon Dude on Earth. We talk about all kinds of things here. The good stuff, the tough stuff, and everything in between. If you like the show, please give us a 5-star review. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and have a blessed day.